Hey guys, it's April. I apologize. I'm not going to be able to go live tomorrow because I have a party to get ready for a project. You guys were asking me to show how to do the hoop things. I had done one back in the spring, but I didn't do a Christmas one, so I thought I would go ahead and do another small one for you guys because the one I did was for large ones. And there may be other ways to do it. This is the way I do it. Now I have one of the 97-cent bandanas from Hobby Lobby, and you can do one layer on these, but I am going to do 4 layers. And I'll show you that here in just a minute, just because I want mine to be a little bit thicker because these are really thin. But if you don't mind the thinness, I just don't want to be able to see the hoop through it, if you can see that. So I am going to show you how to layer it up. So you're going to need a bandana and you're going to need a hoop, and these are under $2. So that, and then usually you can get a pick or something like this for a couple of bucks, $1, just depends on the time of the year when you buy them. They all put them on sale this time of the year. So I've laid out my design in Design Space, and I wanted to show you guys about iron-on. You're going to cut your iron-on with the pretty side to the mat or face down. You can tell if you need to by peeling the corner. You want to put your carrier to the mat. Now I'm doing a little nativity scene. You've probably seen some of them say hope or believe. You can put whatever you want on these, but I'm doing a little nativity scene with the star, and it is a Design Space Access image, and I'll include that link below. It's a free file, but we're going to cut the star out of silver, and then I am going to use a strip flock because I have a scrap of that on hand to do my nativity on this background, because I want 2 colors that will show up well. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to cut this, and then we'll come back and I will show you how to weed your iron-on with the strip flock. You can see that we have like a dull matte side here and then a shiny side. This is the side that's going to be to the mat. Don't forget to mirror, cut your image, and come back and we will take it from there. Okay, and we're back. Now I just cut my iron-on piece out so it's a more manageable piece here on camera. You cut yours out too, or you can attach yours to a box so that it cuts a square around it to make it easy to weed, so you don't weed the whole sheet if you want to leave it on there, but you're going to have to eventually cut that carrier anyway. So I just cut mine before I weed. And you can leave this on your mat to weed it if it helps you. Use your bright pads, whatever helps you see your weeding lines. This is a simple design, so all I need to do is start at a corner and start peeling that back. And this is, I believe, Starcraft. This is a matte stretch vinyl, soft flex. But I just needed a little piece, and it's the only silver I had handy, so that's what I'm using. Since it's a decorative piece and it won't be worn, it's not really going to matter that I didn't put it on a stretch. It should stick enough for that. And I'm just going to trim out my strip flock here. Just cut it right off. And different materials are going to weed different ways, and I'm going to be using my mini. I'm just going to turn that on. The first setting there should be fine for the iron-ons that I'm using. I'm not doing an infusible ink or anything. So we're just going to get a corner of that, and we're just going to start peeling that back. And it will tear on you and stuff like that. Some of them will, some of them won't. It won't hurt anything as long as it's not your design you're tearing. Just going to get right in there and loosen that up and start peeling that out. Got a couple more in here. But this is called the weeding process, and this is where we remove the stuff that we don't want to iron on. And the Strip Flock Pro is not on a pressure sensitive carrier, and what that means is the pressure sensitive is sticky, so when you peel it off, if you peeled off the wrong piece, you can stick it back. You can't do that with strip flock. I did cut this on the flock iron-on setting. And our little mini press is ready. This is really a quick, simple, easy project, guys. So, and something, especially if you're new, to get started with. Let's get rid of that trash. So I have my 2 pieces and I have mine. This is a 6-inch hoop. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this up, and I am going to get my Easy Press mat. Let me grab that. So I have my mat, and of course it tells you which side down. And this is the big one, but I didn't want to pull out my little one. I already had this one out for another project. And I had been playing with this bandana and tied a knot in it. But if you got one and it was folded, it's probably got a few wrinkles. So you want to make sure that you have all of the wrinkles out of it. You've got to preheat anyway. So I'm just using my little mini press, and I'm just going to press it and iron it just to warm it up and get any moisture out. Now I want to make sure that, because I'm folding mine in 4s, to give it a good thick layer so that I can't see my hoop through it. You notice now you can't see it. If you've got a really thin fabric or something, you can do that. So I'm just going to place it right there. If you've got like an 8-inch hoop, this will work too. Or if your fabric is thicker cotton, you won't need to double it up at all. So I'm just going to make sure that I place this on the fabric like I want. And of course, we're not going to iron it this way. We just want to get an estimate of where it's going to land. So, and it's going to fit well. That's it. So I just want to make sure that it's going to fit. And I'm just going to try to line that up on a stripe right there, or in between the stripes, if that makes any sense. I'm using them as a guide. Okay, so now I have that. And if you have a Teflon mat, you can use that for this project. I'm not going to use one. I'm just going to give it just a little bit of hand pressure here, and I'm going to press it for about 15 to 20 seconds. And there are Caesar instructions on applying this if you're applying it to shirts, things like that. Make sure you read absolute instructions so you're not overheating or underheating. But for something like this that's going to hang on the wall, it should stay. It shouldn't come off. I'm just giving it a good press. Making sure I got all the sections, because it's a little bit bigger than my mini press. And just gonna peel that. This is a cool peel, I believe. I'm gonna give it a second. I forgot to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's a cool peel. And then you're just gonna peel back your carrier. If it's not peeling, double check that you're using a cool peel and cool peel or warm peel, and peel accordingly. And then I'm just going to place this piece in. Generally, I give it just a few seconds to adhere when I'm doing these, so that they don't shrink or any of that. But I think I'm going to be okay on this one, so I'm just going to place that on there. Now I have some flocked iron-on right here. The flocked has like a coating on it, but just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to see if I can't find my Teflon sheet. Got away from me. Grab one of my smaller ones. I'm just going to protect the areas that's not covered by the second iron-on sheet. And we're just going to press this for a few seconds as well. And this is basically how you layer without putting it on top of the other iron-on, so that it adheres without doubling up, especially on a shirt. I don't like to double up and lay it on top of the other. We're just gonna peel. Oops, you see that? That's probably a cool peel. I peeled it too warm. I'm just gonna stick it back down. Give it a second to cool before I. Not adhered yet. Maybe I missed it with my easy press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should do it. Give it a second to cool. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to give it one good final press over the whole area. And this is just for if you're using your 6x7 or your 9x9 or your heat press, you won't have to do it in sections like I'm doing here. One good press will do it, but I'm just making sure everything is down, since this is going to be a hoop sign and not worn. So there we go. Make sure everything is stuck, and it is. So now that I have that, and I know the silver is probably showing up maybe white on your screens, don't worry about it. It is silver, and you can tell the difference in person. So I'm going to put that, because this is going to be, I got one that clips, but you can glue them on as well. I want to decide how you want to put that on. I like that there. So I want mine to be right down at the base of my hoop, leaving me some area at the top. So we're just going to take that apart. Get that screw right there, and that's going to give you some slack. This piece goes underneath. And then this piece goes back on the top, and you're going to have to loosen that. Probably, I just loosened mine a little bit. I'm going to have a little bit more. You want to make sure that you have enough give to go around all of your fabric, and then you can work on lining it up. You want it to be taut. Let's get rid of this mat so we can press. Not enough space yet. Let's see. Make sure I'm going the right way. There we go. I'm just centering up. And you can cut this on your Cricut too if you want, if you have a heavier fabric. I would say cut it about an inch bigger than your fabric to give you some play, so that you have something to grasp onto, and you'll see what I mean. I want that at the top too. Now that I got that right, I think I'm there. So once you have it like you want, you're going to press that down, and then you make sure your hoop is pressed right. And then you're going to tighten it back up. And of course, you want to take your tag off. I'll take my tag off. You can paint your hoops, several different things. And then you're just going to come in and trim off all of your fabric that's extra. And I'm just, since this was a bandana, I'm not worried about saving a bunch of the scraps. I will use what I have here and use them on testing for stitches. When I do my sewing machine and embroideries and things like that, I use scraps like this for that. Or if I need to test an iron-on, see if it's going to stick for something, if I'm using the same bandanas, like for a pillow cover, because those you want to pay attention to. Like a pillow cover, you're going to pay attention to what is sticking them out. Of course, I didn't trim that up well. I don't have my really good scissors over here. I'm going to grab them. I just wanted to trim the basics off. Let me grab my scissors, my fabric scissors, and we'll get it finished. There we go. I knew they were there. So we're just going to go in and trim. You don't want to trim it until you know you've got it set like you want it, and you've got your hoop tight and your fabric tight. I'm just going to trim off all this excess. to make it look pretty. Keeping mine flat on my hoop. Let's see if you guys can see. Just like this as I go around. I hate that this camera goes in and out of focus. I hope you guys can see. I am saving for a camera that won't do that. All right, it's pretty good. Now, if you want, if you're worried about it, I'm not worried because like I said, it's just a 97-cent bandana, okay? But if you're worried about that the hoop might come off, you'll never get that back in there, you can run a bead of glue, okay? But I may want to change this and use it for something next year, so I'm not going to do that. I may even add my ribbon here. Hey guys, I just finished this up and I just wanted to show you guys. I'm not going to use a ribbon on mine. I am opting not to use the ribbon, and I am just going to use my large greenery. I am going to hot glue mine on, even though it has a clip. I'm going to take that clip off. I don't like the way that it is clipping, but I am going to just hot glue that right in there so that it sits like I want, and I am super happy with that. So you guys put yours together, make sure you show them in the group, and we'll catch you on the next video.